Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. So it is a little bit earlier in the morning for me. However, I wanted to talk about some things as far as how Day 1 race stream is going to go, how I usually run things, because this channel is quite a large margin bigger than the last time I streamed Day 1. Um, I did watch, some of a particular video that I do want to discuss as well. In the background, you're not really going to be seeing much per se. I don't have any random gameplay or anything like that, unfortunately. But actually, you will probably be seeing some Elden Ring Night Rain gameplay, some old stuff that I have. So yeah, that's just gonna be playing in the background while have some chill orbit music going on. Um, but also, as far as Doom Dark Ages just a really quick note. As far as Doom Dark Ages goes, I will be picking that back. I will be posting that again. It's just I have a lot going on IRL, and obviously in Destiny 2, I have obviously we got a bunch of stuff going on. So first and foremost here, as far as stream goes, it'll probably be a Friday stream this week instead of a Saturday stream. Just because Saturday my schedule is a little bit weird. Well, weird is a little bit of a stretch of the word, but my schedule is a little bit strange this week. So if I do stream Saturday, it's probably going to be like from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. But that will probably what it will be. If I stream this Saturday and Friday, probably will just be like probably be like 5 to 8 p.m. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know if y'all prefer me streaming later. But keep in mind, this is just kind of a lead up to things. Now, as far as Edge of Fate streaming goes, I'll be streaming all day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will not be on at all. I will not be online at all on Tuesday because I literally work. So in Eastern time, the new expansion usually releases at 1 p.m. for me, and I work at 2 p.m. So I'm usually get ready for work at 1 o'clock. So yeah, I work until 10, and I'm just gonna be too exhausted to really hop on or anything. So pretty much when I eat breakfast or whatever, after I eat breakfast, I will be hopping on, streaming, playing the game. Obviously, I do want to give some advice, even if you're grinding for the raid or whatever. Take breaks at some points. Take breaks at some points. I will be taking breaks at some points. I definitely do have to go ahead and create some little snapshots as far as like bathroom break or food break. Now, this is going to talk about some of the Destiny 2, a little bit more controversial stuff. And first and foremost, I will say this upcoming week, I will be making a video on builds that I am, at least one or two builds that I'm taking into the final shape for, I'm going to be doing 2 for Titan, and I'll be doing 2 for Warlock and 2 for Hunter as well. So y'all are going to be getting something for all Guardian classes there, just in case you're like, by the way, these are going to be builds that are not super meta or are a little bit different. Are a little bit different. Some builds people might not be using or anything like that. I'm not going to be mentioning stats or anything like that in those particular builds because obviously stats are going to be changing once Edge of Fate comes out. But it's mostly going to be the exotic armor, the weapons, and a subclass, that sort of stuff, and the interactions within those. So that will be dropping next week before Edge of Fate releases. Well, actually, no. It'll be dropping later this week. Later this week, I'll be dropping it. Expect that either Friday or Saturday. Friday or Saturday. Now, something to keep in mind here, as we progress further, is I am coming at this from someone that either tends to be in the middle as far as controversial opinions goes, or like pretty controversial. Okay, pretty controversial guy. However, I watched a little bit of the clip that Sweatcicle posted about Day 1 raids and about hiding screens and whatnot. And my thought on it, my thoughts on it, and the solution that was kind of proposed, but it's a pretty difficult situation to go, is at least one person on the raid team um, has to stream to verify world's first or whatever. Bungie seems to have a background way of doing that, so I just don't see how that's a thing. In my opinion, if you are streaming the day one raid, if you're going for world's first, if you're going for the clear, if you're going for a top time, you need to stream the actual game. You need to stream the actual game. This was especially a prevalent issue in Salvation's Edge, where a lot of content creators, like Dotto, for instance, and yes, I'm willing to call him out, I do like Dotto. However, the covering the screen shit, I was like, I wanted to see what the ending encounter looked like, because we were still on the first one. I wanted to see, you know, what's it like, did it look great, like did it look cool or whatever, and it just blocked out screen. A lot of streamers just had blocked out screens, and I don't mind muted comms. I think muted comms is fine. I will say, I think this is more of a prevalent issue because this has been happening for some time. This did not just start with Salvation's Edge. This was going on with Vow of the Disciple as well. However, I think after a certain point with Vow of the Disciple, people kind of just said, fuck it, because the raid was so buggy. And I was like, well, even if you know the mechanics, like, there's a good chance it's just going to wig out and not work. So, and I will say, it's kind of covering the screen and whatnot has kind of lost the magic of a world's first. I am also not a huge proponent of muting comms either, but I understand it. I understand it. As far as I go, I only cover my screen if I am looking at something off, because at the time I only had one monitor. This will be the first stream that I actually have two monitors for. Day one. Yeah, I think this is the first stream that I had. That I've actually had a second monitor for, that I could actually look at chat. Because for Salvation Edge, I think I was just looking at, I had my phone propped up with the YouTube chat up, and I had to refresh it every so often. But, so this is the first time I'm doing that, which is why sometimes I had to cover my screen, or like I had to put on my, I'll be back soon, because I might be using the restroom, or I might be looking something up, but I don't want to obviously show that kind of stuff. So, however, that was the only time I ever covered a screen. Using the bathroom or something like that. There's no gameplay going on. No gameplay. However, I was like, every time I was like actually doing the encounter or whatnot, I would stream. I would stream. I also feel like people have lost that it's a video game. People have lost that, like, the main goal of a video game is to have fun. That's the main goal of a video game. Is to have fun. If you're a content creator, at least in my personal opinion, you should be having fun in the game you're playing. Like when I did the Elden Ring Magic. Like, I despite how much I rip on the game, I think Elden Ring is a good game. I think Elden Ring's a good game. It's just when you compare it to the rest, shots fired. Even Bloodborne, there were some instances where I was just pissed, but I love Bloodborne. I was still having fun. This is also why at some points I will drop series. Like Mortal Kombat 1, I was not having fun, so I dropped it. And as a content creator, at least I can personally feel when a content creator is not really having fun with the game. And it kind of just sits with you a little bit. That, something felt off about that. I personally really like watching creators that, like, really love the games that they are playing. Like when 8-Bit Ryan plays Kindergarten, or the Three Idiots do raid bosses, either in Xenoverse or Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like, all sorts of stuff, right? And I feel like that's getting lost right now with Destiny 2, where people is like looking at it very weirdly. Like Destiny 2 is a video game. Destiny 2 is a video game. Does it have some competitive aspects? Yes. At the end of the day, when you leave either a day 1 raid, day 1 dungeon, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, all this stuff, the question that you should be able to answer with an emphatic yes when you leave that is, did I have fun? Now, in some instances, for day 1 raids, did I have fun? No. but I love raiding. I love raiding. And generally speaking, day 1 raids have some ups and downs. Road to Nightmare started off great, ended with the down. Salvation's Edge was kind of a miserable experience as a whole. I'll just be real. That's not really in part due to the team I was with or like the flip-flopping, but it was complicated as fuck, and it was not easy to figure out, and it seemed a little bit finicky at times. As far as throwing the pulse back, I wish it would have just been a fucking button instead of having to get back on and off the plate. But, like, Crota's End, I had a decent time. This is also why I do not play Crucible very much at all. I don't really play Trials that often at all, especially anymore. Iron Banner, don't really play that anymore because I genuinely do not have fun doing those activities, so I don't do them. Gambit, I have fun in Gambit, honestly. I know, hot take. Most people hate Gambit, but I personally like Gambit. I like Gambit. I don't do it as often anymore, mostly because the rewards aren't there. But when I leave a Gambit match, I'm like, oh, that was pretty fun. Most of the time, at least. But I feel like that's being lost with a lot of people these days. A lot of Destiny players. As far as they're looking at it like it's a job of like, I have to get worlds first. Well, did you have fun getting worlds first? I think if you asked a lot of people that have won world's first races in the past, they would say, yeah, it was fun. Yeah. It was fun getting world's first. For the viewer, at least for those older raids, was it fun watching those world's first races? Like, was it fun watching that team get world's first? You would say yes. Is that the case really anymore? No. And I'm going to kind of use Evan F as kind of an example here. As far as, like, I was a viewer of Evan F, you know, I watched his older, I still watch his videos, but back in the day, before I really started day 1 raiding, I would watch those old World's First Raid videos. The Last Wish, the original King's Fall, Crota's End, you know, all these older raids. I was like, I want that experience. I want that experience. So then I started doing it myself. And for me, I really noticed a decline in fun viewing after VOW. After VOW, I noticed a kind of a little bit of a decline in a fun viewing. I think Crota's End was perfect. Crota's End is the exception. The Crota's End was the exception. But VOW, it was only really funny because of the amount of bugs. It was funny because of the amount of bugs. And I said Crota's End was perfect difficulty. But like Salvation's Edge and these newer dungeons, they just have had an awful viewing experience. And I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, like, it's a raid. If you're supposed to have fun watching the stream, as the one streaming it, I'm supposed to have fun. Right? Will it get miserable at times? Yes. But you're going to get that high back again once you beat that encounter. And this is also one of the reasons why I kind of take a look at least sometimes as, you know, we load it to Orbit, I try to check and see, hey, is the raid gear out now? Okay, is the armor out now? Because if it looks clean, that guy's going to drive that, you know, at least the viewer's going to see, hey, this armor actually looks sick. That armor actually looks sick. Hey, maybe I might want to do that. I might want to try it day 1 at some point. Let me see what this guy's doing. Let me see what this guy's doing. And it's not fun watching a fucking black screen. It's not fun watching a black screen. You might as well just be on in the background. I will say I listen to some podcasts, YouTube videos. I watch some YouTube videos, you know, in the background. In the background, right? I do that sometimes myself. However, it's different than, but I'm not watching somebody play a video game in the background. I usually listen to like history-based stuff or something like that, you know, or like creepypastas or whatever. But if I'm watching a video game, like a let's play, or say for example, imagine if I played Stellar Blade and all I showed was a black screen, and all you heard was my reactions or whatever. Or you watched me play Dark Souls 3, or Dark Souls 1, or Bloodborne. Or, like, imagine if I did my Bloodborne stream with an entirely black screen. And yes, I do know I ran into issues, but I made sure to fix those issues. Like, at some point, I got sick of the card that I had, to where I just flat out streamed on the PS5. And what do you know? It was a pretty good viewing experience. At least better than a lot of these day one raid streamers that just show a black screen. Because what's the point? What's the point of streaming it if you're the only one seeing it? What's the point? Because I don't see the point. So, if y'all have been on the channel for a while, I do like improving the big streams. What I define as the big streams. My weekly streams, I define them as sort of like as the weekly stream. But some big streams like Bloodborne's 10-year anniversary, Day 1 raids, I kind of haven't decided yet, but if I do a Dark Souls 3 10-year anniversary stream, those are things that I will only stream once. Those are things I will only ever stream once. You will only get that Day 1 experience once. That Bloodborne 10-year anniversary, the 10-year will only happen once. And you know what else will only happen with Bloodborne? Is it getting any sort of anything. Anything. That will happen 0 times. But, Dark Souls 3, 10-year anniversary, if I decide to stream that. I don't know the exact date of it, though. That will only happen once. These things will only happen once. So I like to put more effort into those things that will only happen once. So on that Saturday, I'll start up the stream 30 minutes before. So it would be 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, my time. I think so. Because I believe it releases at 1 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll be streaming 30 minutes before. Try to get a little as we progressing, get the team together. I will have face cam, so I'll be able to see me and either my descent into madness, or I'll definitely be seeing me slowly get more and more exhausted. But you know, y'all will be seeing all that. Y'all be seeing all that. I will have face cam. Obviously, there won't be a death counter or anything like that. I still don't know how to work a YouTube chat on being on screen permanently. I don't really know how to do that, so that won't be available this time. But I will be looking at chat every so often. I will never cover the screen. I just won't, unless I'm using the restroom or, you know, food break or something like that. And that's more to tell you that, hey, I'm using the restroom real quick, or hey, I'm eating a little bit here. So that's those are the only 2 times. Those are the only times that I will have the screen covered. But it's mostly just like a pop up. And you're like, hey, this is what's happening. Bada bing, bada boom. As far as muting audio goes, I'm gonna be my team is, at least the team I'm in, is in Discord. So I'll be recording Destiny 2 audio and Discord audio separately, so y'all can still hear the in-game audio even if I mute Discord or whatever, or myself. Will that happen? Probably not. That's really only going to happen if we are a decent ways ahead, which will probably not happen. Let's be real here. So many people are raising that the likelihood that's going to happen is quite slim. But I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a good time. And by the way, just so y'all know, this will be the first time that I am not the head of the team. I'm not the head of the team. I'm just a member of it. I'm just a member of it. I'm just a member of it. But yeah, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of covering screens. I'm not going to do that. Outside of, hey, I'm in the bathroom right now. Hey, I'm eating some food real quick. Those type of things. So, and of course, you're going to face cam and whatnot. So, I do think, just one last thing I do want to mention. Because I don't think I've really ever said what my goal with doing YouTube is, or how I feel about like how certain people do YouTube stuff or whatever, right? I might have mentioned it once or twice, but this channel's a little bit bigger now, which is kind of ironic to say. Not ironic, but it's kind of funny to say. And my thing is, on this channel, I'm gonna play the games that I like, that I enjoy. If I don't like a game, you'll either never see it come to the channel at all, or it will be like you'll see like parts 1 through 6, and well, you'll see like parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you won't see anything else after that. However, if I enjoy a game, doesn't necessarily matter how many views it gets or whatnot. I'm gonna post it, as evidenced by Doom Dark Ages. I don't like it as much as Eternal, but still. And if y'all like the games that I play, hop along for the ride. If y'all don't, that's cool. If you only like some of the games and you don't like the other games, that's alright too. I'm not here to be a fucking corporation or anything. I'm just a fucking dude that plays games. I know who I am. I'm a dude disguised as another dude. If y'all know that reference, leave it in the comments below. And on that note, though, thanks for tuning in. Y'all be getting Doom Dark Ages, another part of Doom Dark Ages, sometime later this week, maybe Saturday. In case if I don't stream Saturday, y'all will be getting Doom Dark Ages on Saturday, but it will be a late as fuck upload. Probably. But probably expect the builds I'm taking into into Edge of Fate. Oh my god, the teams are too fucking similar. You'll expect that Friday at the latest. For Friday at the latest, but you might be getting it on Thursday. Kind of just depends on my schedule. But yeah, we're probably getting that on Friday. Those are not for the raid. Those are for the campaign and whatnot. As far as will I be posting raid build videos or anything like that? No, I'll be strictly streaming. Mostly because I gotta get on the grind. Specifically for class items, because yeah, class items are going to be the thing that is going to be replaced. Everybody should be thinking about replacing a class item once Edge of Fate happens, because class items now have stats. However, though, on that note, though, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.